So yeah, I'm not that big into sports games. I like the crazy arcade type ones like Mario Tennis and the mini games in Super Monkey Ball, Monkey Golf and Monkey Bowling, stuff like that. But the realistic simulations like Madden and FIFA just don't interest me. And I thought today's game, Mecarobot Golf for Super Nintendo, would fall more into the former category. I mean, this is definitely more like Mario Golf than Tiger Woods, right? Wrong. Mecha Golf was made by Toho. You know, the guys that make Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and all that jazz? Yeah, that Toho. And it's got a robot playing golf. So I was like, yeah, this is a must buy. I picked it up, brought it home, and what I got was basically golf. Plain and simple, boring, unbearable golf. And I'm not even exaggerating. See, when you buy a game like this, you have certain expectations. I mean, it's got a robot on the front playing golf. That's crazy. So you think, hey, it's going to be a fun, goofy experience. It's not going to take itself too seriously at all. But what you get is one of the most bland, uninspired golfing games there is. I mean, it might be okay. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. There's nothing special about it except for the fact that one of the players is a robot. But he doesn't behave like a robot. No siree. The basic premise of the game is to see if a robot could beat a human in golf. And I understand if it was like a Rock'em Sock'em robot or like one of those battle bots, but this is a sentient walking jet jaguar kind of robot. I mean, if it's advanced enough to know what golf is and to compete, it's probably pretty damn good at it. I mean, the robot can calculate exactly how much force to apply to the club, where to aim, it can take into account all factors like wind and environmental hazards. It should get a hole-in-one every time. This should be a no-brainer. It's a machine designed to do one thing, to win at golf. But no, it can actually lose, and quite easily assuming the player is good. That's another thing, you have to play as a human. It's called Mecha-Robot Golf, but you don't get to play as the robot. No, that'd be crazy. To make up for it, I consider the human to be a replicant, like in Blade Runner. Yeah, he just doesn't know he's a robot. So really it's less of, can a robot beat a human, and more of, can a robot beat a robot that doesn't know it's a robot? Yeah, that's deep, huh? And the environment really gets me down. What a wasted opportunity. It's like a regular golf course. You got your green greens, you got your trees, your sand traps, your ponds, your bright blue sky. Where's the futuristic skybox? The constant rain? I mean, I was talking about Blade Runner a second ago. Why doesn't it look like that? Wouldn't that be cool? Even if it played like any other golf game, the fact that it looks like Blade Runner would elevate it to like another level. Or how about like the future from Terminator with like the skulls being crushed by those giant tank things? It's kind of like they took a Tiger Woods licensed game, took out Tiger Woods, and put in, a robot. And actually, if you do a little research, you'll find out that this game in Japan was a licensed sports game, and there was no robot. They basically had like the Japanese Tiger Woods promote it. Well, I don't actually know if he is the Japanese Tiger Woods, but that's the only golfer I know by name, so let's just call him that. Anyway, either people wouldn't know who this guy is in North America, or they lost the rights to use his name, so they threw in the robot. Anyway, ignoring the fact that the art direction is completely different than what I would have liked, it is well made. The graphics look nice and colorful, and the Mode 7 effects are pretty cool. I especially like how the perspective changes based on what part of the game you're in. It even zooms in super close to watch the ball roll into the hole. That's kinda cool. The game gives you a detailed tutorial, then sends you on your way. And it all seems to be fairly automatic. It selects the club and points you in the right direction. You can adjust all these things on your own, but you're probably gonna be wrong. But hey, who am I to talk? I don't know anything about golf, and I guess this is where this video becomes less of a review and more of a public service announcement. I'll fully admit I'm in no way qualified to review this game. I don't know the first thing about the sport. But hey, I should mention some of the positive. It does have a save feature, which is cool. So you can be partway through a game, let's say hole 11 of 18, and you can save and come back later, which is pretty cool. Of course, that's assuming you plan on coming back at all. I have a game saved right now at hole 7, and it might just stay there until the end of time, or until the cartridge deteriorates, whatever occurs first. The game features 2 musical tracks, and they're both fairly catchy. The only problem is there's only 2 of them, so you got track A or track B, and that's what you're gonna hear the whole time. But it doesn't really matter how good the music is. I don't think any track, not even the Stone Tower Temple theme from Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, could hold my attention for that long. I think your best bet's to mute the music altogether and play your own. How about Mr. Roboto? That'd be great. Or maybe the theme from Terminator. That way you both see a robot and hear some music that reminds you of robots. Or just play the theme from Caddyshack. That would work. The game structure's kinda bland. You can play the tutorial, or you can play in a tournament. But there doesn't seem to be any real progression. You don't really go up the ranks, and it never really gets harder. You're not even really competing against a computer at this point. You're mostly competing against yourself. And if you're into that kind of thing, cool. But personally, I prefer a little more competition. And it's not like the environments change or anything. It's always the same, all the time. And it's a little bland, to be honest. This is not something I could see myself playing again and again. I want some variety, I want some excitement, and it just isn't there. But again, it's golf. And I don't mean to bash on the sport, I'm sure people like it, and for good reason. It's just personally, I think golf is ridiculously boring. And as I always say, it's something you could easily do in real life. And it's not like this game offers the chance to play as any pros, and the course isn't all that interesting. So if you want a better experience, spend a little money, go to the golf course, and play a few games. So, bottom line, if you're looking for a fun, exciting, sci-fi related, goofy arcade golf experience, you're gonna be disappointed, and you should definitely skip this game. If you actually like golf and want a realistic simulation, you should probably pick one without a robot in it. So I guess by lying and trying to appeal to people like me, this game has alienated both sides. People who like golf won't take it seriously, and people who don't like golf will be very disappointed to find that it very much is golf. And I guess that's the moral right there. Don't put a robot in your sporting game unless it's actually going to act like a robot. I mean, at the very least, it should probably transform. At the store I was like, hey, it's got robots and it's made by Toho. This is gonna be great. What I should have thought was, hey, this is made by Toho, just like that other game, Super Godzilla. Godzilla on the Super Nintendo, 2 great things, worse together. Yeah, well, here we got 1 great thing, robots, and 1 terrible thing, golf. So, really, what was I expecting?